Little short video. King Donald Trump. Message to you, my friend. Message to King Donald Trump. This message to you, King. Going to run for that third term. You are allowed to run for that third term. Trump 2028. Because this is the mayor of Chester, Pennsylvania, King. And you can do the research on it. He was the mayor for 8 years, 2 terms, right? And he ran for another third term, King Trump. So yes, my friend, you are allowed to run for another third term. You can do the research on the mayor of Chester, Thaddeus Kirkland, who was in politics for 30-something years, right? Became the mayor of Chester, had 2 terms, and ran for a third term. On the last election Chester had. Who beat him out was Stefan Roots, another flunky, another follower. And yes, King Trump, let's get into this little short video. But this guy here, Thaddeus Kirkland, King Trump, he ran for a third term in Chester. So my friend, yes, you are allowed to run for a third term. Trump 2028, let's get it popping.
Recently, Fox News comes into City Hall. After the fact, we were there talking about lead paint program that was going to be great for the city. The county health department was with us. Children's Choice or Children's First group was with us. We just had a beautiful press conference talking about getting the lead paint out of our homes in the city of Chester and the partnership working together. As we're finishing up our press conference, in walks my opposition. He's a councilman. He was over the health department.
In fact,
he was supposed to speak.
He talking about Stefan Roots, y'all. For those who don't know who he's talking about this guy right here, who's the present mayor now of Chester, Stefan Roots, King Trump. Do the research. There's his name here. Stefan Roots. That's who Thad talking about in the video. Thad was the mayor at the time during his second term. Stefan Roots sat on his board as a council member. And Pat Warroach was running as I believe, a Republican at the time. But I told y'all he's running off his playbook. Him right here is running off his playbook. Let's go back to the other video.
The honor of starting off.
Thank you. And it is an honor and a privilege to be with all of you this evening. I want to thank the League of Women Voters for hosting this awesome event tonight. Let me just share a little bit about myself and who I am. I am Thaddeus Kirkland. I am the mayor of the city of Chester. I have lived in this community all of my entire life. I'm also married, and I have been married for the past 47 years. I have 5 amazing daughters, a host of grandchildren. I'm also the pastor of the Great Community Baptist Church located right here in the city of Chester. I served in the House of Representatives for 24 years, and during that time, I chaired both the Pennsylvania Legislative Black Caucus for a period of time for 4 years, as a matter of fact, and also chaired the Pennsylvania Tourism and Recreation Committee, the second leading industry in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Also, I served on many boards throughout my career in the political realm. Tonight, I want to talk about the successes that we've had in this community. Successes like reducing crime by 67%. Someone once said that you should never make promises that you can't keep. Well, we made the promise to reduce the crime in this community, and we've done just that. We also made the promises to lighten up our community, and we've done just that with brand new LED lighting. We also made the promises to bring about tutorial programs for our young people, and we've done just that. So tonight, we want to share more of the progress that we've had in this community. And I am so proud and so glad that so many folks are listening in. so that they can hear the facts and not fiction.
Everybody, I'm Stefan Roots, City Councilman in the City of Chester, the newest City Councilman in the City of Chester. I'd like to thank the League of Women Voters for arranging this forum for Chester voters and residents to hear from me. But let's just cut right to the chase. Chester's on life support right now. There's only one issue Chester should be worried about, and that's what's going to happen if Chester runs out of money. It's up to you, voters.
Right, Natasha and Don, good afternoon. Crozier Chester Medical Center and Taylor Hospital are vital parts of the community. Today, I talked to patients who now have to decide whether to follow their doctors to another location or find a different provider altogether.
I got shot in my right eye.
I agree with
I have a bullet in my head.
You're at a point right now where
I suffer with epilepsy.
Shooting survivor Jason Alexander goes to a doctor at Crozier Chester Medical Center every 3 months. But with the hospital shutting down, he's worried he'll have to travel farther to get care.
I can't travel here and travel there. That's too much for me.
Alexander was among several patients who attended a rally to fight the closure of the hospital, where an upside-down flag flew as a symbol of distress. Lead medical assistant Melanie McKendry works on the oncology unit.
And to have to tell patients today that they're part of their support team is being let go is hard, because you have patients that are crying to you and we don't have answers.
Delaware National Guard member Jeremy Taylor says his father is recovering from neck surgery at Crozier. He'll now have to be transferred.
I feel sad right now because, first of all, my father is not working right now. He's still in bed. We're fighting how to get him stabilized, and then the news that the hospital is closing is devastating to me.
Officials say Crozier Chester Medical Center admits 19,000 patients, treats 53,000 emergency department patients, and delivers 1,700 babies every year. Many, like Alexander, are still holding out for hope.
I need Crozier. I need them every day. You know, please don't take our hospital.
Has declared a state of emergency. The concern is that when this hospital shuts down, it's going to take longer for ambulances to transport patients to the next nearest facility. Live in Upland, Delaware County, Madeline Wright, CBS News, Philadelphia.
Is live now in Chester, where lawmakers gathered to call for a solution. Becca. Sarah, this is a hub for transportation here in Chester. It's obvious why they picked this. They have both buses and a regional rail line that will be shut down entirely. It's the Wilmington line. 5,500 people ride it every day. It's the riders who will be left stranded if these cuts happen. As this SEPTA train rolls through the Chester Transportation Center, riders can't help but wonder if this will come to an end in just a few months.
because when we fight,
we win! Though legislators say not on their watch.
these cuts would be catastrophic and cannot come to pass.
Delaware County leaders rallied at the regional rail stop for state funding and to explain the impact of SEPTA's proposed service cuts, which includes the Wilmington-Newark line that runs through Chester.
The elimination of 50 bus routes, the elimination of 5 regional rail lines, including this one.
The Transportation Service says it has a $213 million budget deficit, and if the state can't help make up the difference, it will institute a 45% service cut, 21.5% fare increase, and stop all trains, trolleys, and subways after 9 p.m.
This cut would impact their mobility to work, especially for those that work 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. or also 10 p.m. to 6 a.m.
In Chester, where the city says half of its residents use SEPTA, leaders say the cuts would bring the city screeching to a halt.
SEPTA is the lifeblood of this region, and it's so important to so many people to get to work, to get to their doctor, to get to entertainment, to see their families. We just can't sustain these kinds of cuts.
Now, if SEPTA doesn't get the funding in the state budget this summer, it says that the cuts will begin in August. Live here in Chester, Becca Hendrickson, Channel 6 Action News. Brian.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Stefan Roots, City Councilman in the City of Chester, the newest City Councilman in the City of Chester. I'd like to thank the League of Women Voters for arranging this forum for Chester voters and residents to hear from me. But let's just cut right to the chase. Chester's on life support right now. There's only one issue Chester should be worried about, and that's what's going to happen if Chester runs out of money. It's up to you, voters. This could be the last mayor's debate ever in the city of Chester. This election will determine if Chester will still be a city 4 years from now. Your vote determines if this city lives or dies. You know, what is a mayor? You know, a mayor creates the vision for the city. He sets the tone. He establishes the reputation. He hires commissioners. He signs contracts. He attracts businesses. He drafts the city's budget, and he keeps the ship on course. The mayor is simply the chief executive officer of a city. You know, one of the things I'm going to do as mayor is watch every dime that goes out of City Hall. I'm going to collect every dollar that's owed to us. I'm going to increase our tax base by bringing in new businesses, build new homes. I'm going to see that we get out of bankruptcy and receivership. That's what CEOs do. You can't do that when you treat the city like a corner store, hiring all your family and friends and spending money that you don't have. I'm the candidate working with the receiver and his team to put Chester back on a firm financial footing. By contrast, our existing mayor, our current mayor, continues to complain about stupid stuff like how much the receiver makes. Yet the mayor has no problem wasting your money trying to reverse the court decisions the receiver already won. The mayor's disgraceful in his actions. All he's concerned about is protecting his image, not the city. We all know the money problems in Chester didn't start with him. We know that. It started about 25 years ago. But he's never had any true intentions of fixing the money problems. Kirkland wants us to believe the governor is going to bail the city out like we're on welfare or something. And who is Pat Worrell? If I had $5 for everyone who asked me that question, I would retire today. She's lost every election she's been in, except the appointment from Mayor Kirkland to be on the zoning board for the last 10 years. She's a nice person, though, but she's not qualified. Down to the waterfront, put your back to Covanta and look at that beautiful waterfront, and you see a $1 million waterfront, multi-million-dollar waterfront. That's what you see. If Covanta was gone, the developers will come in here and develop our waterfront so fast we'll look.
Now, y'all heard that, right? If Cavanagh was gone. This is what he was campaigning on before he was the mayor, ladies and gentlemen. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Cavanagh is stood there. Fucking hypocrite.
Say, why don't we talk about those other polluting industries? Why don't we talk about them? I haven't heard you talk about it. Look, Covanta burns all the trash in Delaware County, except the trash that's on Chester streets. That's ridiculous. I'm done. That's it.
Thank everyone that is out here today. I want to thank all of these wonderful, beautiful individuals who's been actually representing this community. My Philadelphia delegation representative and colleagues, Representative Burgos also had to leave, but I just thank each and every one of you guys, and also the Philadelphia delegation who couldn't be here today, but really just sent, you know, their warm love and positive vibes. We honestly asked for all of this today because, as you guys stated and know, it was comments that was made, you know, a few nights ago at a debate. I was honestly very disappointed. I was not shocked, but I was shocked. Because when I look at a community like Philadelphia, and we're actually in the House, we always have to stand together. We have to fight for our communities because we actually suffer the same exact things. That's right. So to know that we have a candidate or anyone that wants to represent a community and speak down on another community that look like the residents that you are going to actually represent was very alarming to me. Saying that you care about Philadelphia is also saying that you care about Chester. Let that be known. Because again, when we're in the House, when there are things that are against Philadelphia, I speak up. When there are things that are against Chester, they speak up. That's what the brotherhood and the sisterhood that we have formed and have to form. What I'm not going to allow is for my people, my people to be excluded under this commonwealth because you don't live nor look like me or my family or my neighbors or my loved ones. Chester is not a dumping ground. Chester is not a dumping ground. It's not a dumping ground.
Hell no, we're not.
No trash has to come here. It should not be here. It shouldn't be in Philadelphia. It shouldn't be in Reading. It shouldn't be in Allentown. It shouldn't be in Pittsburgh.
A few moments later.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Chester, trash is burning in Chester at Cabanas. Y'all heard all that talk, right? So I told y'all stop listening to these people out here. They not here for y'all. They get these positions and it's business as usual once they get them crumbs on the plate. But this video is about King Trump running for 8 more years because it's allowed. For 3 terms, I mean. God damn it. 2028, Trump, let's go. But I'm just showing you the hypocrisy of niggas when they get in these positions. And we ride down here every day, y'all, down in Cabana. That's down there by the soccer stadium, y'all. The trash incinerator. Business as usual. Y'all heard all the hypocrisy talk. So I'm saying niggas turn the other cheek, take the little crumbs on the plate, and it's business as usual. Cabana stood bringing in how much Uncle P say? $5 million a year in Chester in bankruptcy. Wow.
1990.
It was around the same time Westinghouse was here for Covanta.
Same time.
How did you feel about Covanta in the beginning?
Well, they weren't Covanta.
They were Westinghouse.
They were Westinghouse, and it was somebody else prior to them. But the situation was this: they were terrible. I mean, we would go down there. You could see rats the size of cats. I mean, really, because one day, Reverend Strand came to a council meeting, and we were like, just up in arms about the conditions down there that Westinghouse had going on down there. And he literally reached into a big bag that he had. Thank God he had a glove on, and he pulled out a rat the size of a cat at a county council meeting.
Wow. Pays $5 million a year to the budget. How do you feel about talks of shutting them down or getting them to move? Do you feel as though there are things in place that could use that land, if that land, even with Del Cor being right next to it, right? If that land became available, do you see a business that would want to go there and contribute the same amount of money?
Let me back up, because we talked about Westinghouse.
Yeah.
And Westinghouse was a mess. It was a complete, total mess to this city. They didn't appreciate this community. They didn't respect this community. And back then, we were down there fighting them tooth and nail, jumping in front of the trucks and going to court, telling them to get.
Stay in the line. Somebody get back in the line.
We live here. We're tired of the trash. So you need to go back where you were and just tell them we wouldn't let you in. It's not your fault.
That's what I'm telling you.
You just caught up in the middle. But you ain't getting in there today.
I don't know what's coming from that plant, but it's a stench that you've never smelled before. I mean, it is horrible.
We have a high rate of cancer here. We have a high rate of leukemia here. We have high rates of a lot of things that we don't have answers to.
Trash finds its way from Maryland. Trash finds its way from Virginia. Trash finds its way from Jersey to Chester.
When the plants come here, they're bringing us jobs. You're bringing us jobs, but at the same time, you're killing us.
Like I said, long as they're making their money, they don't care.
All they're going to do is be successful in driving away people like me who have the ability to stay here, to pay the taxes, to buy the homes. They're going to drive us the hell out of here. And those of us that they don't drive off, they're going to kill them slowly.
If they put another plant in Chester, we will tear it down. Brick by brick.
They said to us
that they weren't going to bring any more of this type of industry into Chester. And now they're sneaking it in.
You still have other companies coming in. A lot of them are from out of the country, overseas, names that are disguised, trying to move in and get permits.
There are proposals for what would be the world's largest tire incinerator and other waste to fuel schemes that are targeting the city.
Because we're black, we're poor, low economics, low jobs. They think this is the ideal place to come and dump their trash and waste.
It's actually become known as one of the nation's worst cases of environmental racism, and we're trying to figure out ways to get the community reorganized like we had in the mid-90s to be a powerful force for change and make sure that those things get stopped.
Like I said, in 96, that was the fight, right? Meanwhile, back at the ranch, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Cabana stood burning, making money. And these niggas took the crumbs off the plate and turned the other cheek. I'm glad this video is up to expose the hypocrisy in African American communities throughout the world, goddammit.
There was a time in Chester where a person could quit a job, walk down the street and get another job that same day. That was the industrial boom. We had the shipbuilding down here. It was a town where you saw people getting up in the mornings, going to work. You saw people working in 3 shifts, and it was just a real moving town. All of a sudden, things began to change. Industry world began to change, began to move out. A lot of things in the city were done wrong politically, and businesses and industry were basically sold off or sold out. And now we live in a city where industry is not booming, where jobs are scarce, where we're encouraging everything and anything to come into the community to provide jobs for the citizenry.
I said, you need to understand that we're not going to move, and if you keep going forward, you're going to run over somebody because we're not moving.
I'd like to extend an official apology to the community for this type of action. He jumped in the truck and he drove the truck, and I understand he almost hit somebody. There will be a more official statement coming from our corporation as soon as possible. The purpose of this facility is to process or burn the county's trash.
County trash.
Are capable of processing
the whole county trash
2,688
comes
tons
to
of trash per day.
In other
That's
states.
a lot of trash.
It's a lot of motherfucking trash, y'all. Ain't it, y'all?
This is the Office of Chester Residents Concerned for Quality Living.
The fight is over, y'all.
We're a grassroots organization that has been fighting environmental injustice in our city because it's going to take that kind of personal effort for people to become knowledgeable about this problem. You know what? They think that it's only an isolated thing. It only affects a certain portion of Chester, which is a lie. It affects all of us. We're dealing with a lot of different issues. We're dealing with some environmental problems. We also have to deal with the governmental aspect of it because that's what got us some of these environmental problems. The economic benefits that they give this city are negated by the war that they have caused on our health.
I have all kinds of health problems within the church community. And you know what? I've been going to these kind of meetings for 30 years. And I've seen all the games. I know how they're played, and I know that the players aren't here.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, this Negro here, Strand, I believe, took some crumbs off the plate, and they started with the goddamn storm drain, right? They gave him a little position, gave him the storm drain. He runs the storm drain of Chester, which the city of Chester had all the equipment to do the work. But they branched off and started this little storm drain where they taxing Chester residents another way of giving niggas crumbs on the plate to shut their fucking mouth.
Kinds of health problems within the church community. And you know what? I've been going to these kind of meetings for 30 years. And I've seen all the games.
Took them crumbs off the plate too, nigga.
And I know that the players aren't here.
You a player. You running the storm authority.
This problem is not going to be
taxing the
solved
people.
if you rely on other people.
Gave you a little position,
Now I'm
and you
saying
turned your
things
other
I
cheek,
could not
nigga.
say when I was the
Fuck
administrator
out of here
of
with that
EPA.
fuck shit, man. Gotta
If
hold
Mr.
these
McCabe
niggas
could do
accountable,
it, I'm
y'all.
sure he would. He can't. If Ms.
It's the
Collins would do
blueprint
it,
right
I'm
here.
sure she would.
Trump
She
2028,
can't.
goddammit.
There are sources and
3
powers
more
higher
terms,
than both of
goddammit.
them.
What we have found out is that, and it has taken us 3.5 years to determine what is the force, who is the force, who is the faction that has been behind out is that, and it has taken us 3.5 years to determine what is the force, who is the force, who is the faction that has been behind these companies coming to our little teeny city in Chester. We don't want it. Hell no, we don't want it. It is that basic. It's that basic. It is that basic.
Few moments later. A few moments later. Meanwhile.
Sure, lots of controversy because this is a city in huge financial trouble. There's no question about it. In the city of Chester, in a time critical to its future, there is an aggressive three-way Democratic mayoral primary underway to be decided on May 16th. Here, it is all about the money. A city of 33,000, Chester has long battled poverty. Some of its neighborhoods are scarred by broken down homes, and its core seems almost abandoned. Chester is bankrupt. Its two-term mayor wants another shot.
Because I work hard. I work hard on their behalf.
Thaddeus Kirkland is seeking a third term. He said,
How many terms has he served? 2 terms, and he's going for a 3rd term. And y'all telling me King, President Donald Trump can't run for a 3rd term? But here it is, you mayor's gonna run for a 3rd term? Let's get into it.
long battled poverty. Some of its neighborhoods are scarred by broken down homes, and its core seems almost abandoned. Chester is bankrupt. Its two-term mayor wants another shot.
Because I work hard. I work hard on their behalf.
Thaddeus Kirkland is seeking a 3rd term. He says crime is down and businesses
what?
are returning.
He is
Like this
seeking a what?
restaurant is seeking a 3rd term. He says Kirkland is seeking a 3rd term. He says crime is down
On their behalf.
Thaddeus Kirkland is seeking a 3rd term. He says crime is down and businesses are returning, like this restaurant set to open Sunday. But Chester is mired in debt with a pension system tens of millions of dollars in the hole.
Where the money at?
No responsibility for what's happened here in any way?
I don't take any responsibility for any of the negative finances here in the city. What we've done in the city is we brought businesses here.
Don't put your hand in front of our camera. We were going back and forth. Mayor, come on. You answered every one of my questions, Mayor. As the interview was ending, a member of Kirkland's staff said he was finished answering questions and stuck her hand in front of our camera. When we tried to interview Kirkland's mayoral opponent, City Council member Stefan Roots, the angry mayor ordered us out of City Hall.
Please, we ask you.
No, Mayor, we are allowed to interview a member
It's a public building.
No, well, you can talk there.
We'll
see outside. Stefan Roots was born in
Look,
Chester,
see
a
you
graduate of
outside.
Villanova.
Look
He
where
worked
he at
as a
doing his
community
interview, y'all.
journalist before being elected to
Outside.
city council. The Wells Fargo
Told
Bank
that
will
nigga to
soon
take that
leave
shit
Chester.
outside, nigga.
He says he can attract business.
There's a serious problem when your banks leave town. So we've got to bring business in town that's going to support our financial institution to lift up our city. I can do that. The city has a problem when your banks leave town. So we've got to bring business in town that's going to support our financial institution to lift up our city. I can do that.
The city has no money. We're not paying our bills. We can't pay our bills.
Pat Worrell says she has 45 years of business experience and will use her skills to help pull Chester back from the brink of financial ruin.
Everything needs to be done like you're starting a business from scratch. And I've done that 3 times over. I've had 3 businesses.
Now, similar to Philadelphia, the winner of the primary here is likely to become mayor of this Delaware County city with big challenges ahead. In Chester, Jeff Cole, Fox.
He not rewriting the rules. It was already established.